Last Tuesday, my son came out of the bathroom and I asked him, "Did you wash your hands?" "Yes, Mama," he said, looking right at me, but his hands completely dry. And in that moment, I had a choice. The same choice you have probably faced 100 times as a parent. I could shame him. "You are lying to me. I can see your hands are dry." I could punish him. "No screen time for lying." Or I could get curious. Because here's what I have learned after years of studying child development and making every mistake in the parenting handbook. When our kids lie, they are not becoming bad kids. They are actually showing us something remarkable about their developing brains, and they are giving us information about what they need from us. Today, I want to share why your child lies, what actually is happening in their brain when they lie to you, and the scripts that have transformed lying into connection in our home. And I need to tell you something very important. If your child is lying to you right now, it doesn't mean you have failed. It means you have an opportunity. Hi, I am Rahela Tayyebi, a trauma-informed parent coach, mother of 2 beautifully strong-willed boys, and your parenting guide. That's peaceful but not perfect. And let me tell you, if you're watching this because your child just looked you straight in the eye and told you something you know is not true, I see you. I have been there. I was just there on Tuesday. If you're tired of feeling like you're constantly catching your child in lies and worrying that this means something terrible about their character, not knowing how to respond without either being too harsh or too permissive, then you are in the right place. If that sounds like the parenting support you have been looking for, hit subscribe and let's dive into science of why kids lie, and more importantly, how we can help them tell the truth. So my son is standing there, hands are dry, telling me they are washed, and I can feel it rising in me. That parental panic. Oh no, is my child becoming a liar? What did I do wrong? If I let this slide, he will think lying is okay. But then I remembered something that I teach every day to my clients at workshops. Connect before you correct. So instead of confronting him, I smiled and said, "Oh good, you know what? I love smelling clean hands. Can I smell them?" I gently took his hands and pretended to smell them. These hands smell a little poopy. I think maybe the soap didn't work. Should we go and try the soap again? Because I don't want poop germs in your tummy when we eat our snack. And you know what he said? "Hey, Mama, I didn't actually wash them." There was no shame, there was no punishment, just truth. We walked back to the bathroom together, and then here's what got really interesting. When we got to the wash basin, I noticed something. His little chair he stands on to reach the tap was missing. It was in another room. He couldn't physically reach the sink. In that moment, I realized he didn't lie because he was trying to deceive me or because he doesn't care about hygiene. He lied because he was facing a problem and he didn't know how to solve it. The chair was not there. He couldn't reach, and maybe he thought, if I tell Mama I didn't wash my hands, she'll be upset, but if I say I did, maybe we can just move on and I won't get in any trouble. We got his chair, made washing hands fun with silly, funny songs. Because here's what I have realized. Our children are not lying to hurt us. They are lying because their brilliant developing brains are trying to solve a problem. And usually that problem is, how do I stay safe and connected to the person I love the most? Let me explain what's happening in your child's brain. There is something called theory of mind, and it's actually a development milestone we should celebrate and not fear. Theory of mind is when your child realizes Mom and Dad don't automatically know what I am thinking. They can't read my mind, so if I say something different from what really happened, they might believe me. It's the same cognitive leap that allows them to play pretend play, understand that other people have different thoughts than them. It also develops empathy and also helps them navigate complex social situations. I know you are thinking this is genius. Neuroscience research shows us that when children feel fear, fear of disappointing us, fear of punishment, fear of losing our love. Their amygdala, the brain's fear center, activates, and when the amygdala is activated, the prefrontal cortex goes offline. So the fear is up, the rational thinking is down. But when children feel safe and connected, that's when their prefrontal cortex can stay online. That's when they can access honesty, even when it's hard for them. So connection leads to honesty and fear leads to lying. So let's talk about why kids really lie. The number one reason, they are trying to stay safe from our reaction. Think about it from your child's perspective. They spill juice on the carpet, or they break something, or they forgot to do their homework. And in that moment, they are doing this quick calculation in their little brain. If I tell mom what really happened, she is going to be angry or disappointed or that kind of scary quiet, and I can't handle losing her love right now. I need that approval from her. So they lie because they are trying to protect the most important thing in their world, their connection with you. And here's something which is fascinating, especially between ages 4 and 6, kids are actually experimenting with lying. They are like little scientists studying us. They want to know what happens when I say this thing that's not true. Does mom still love me? Does she get angry? Can I trust her when things are hard? They are testing whether our love is conditional or unconditional, whether we are a safe person to bring their mistakes to. Sometimes kids lie to avoid shame, and I want you to really feel me in this one. Think about how it feels when you make a mistake. That stomach dropping feeling, that heat in your face, the voice in your head going, how could I be so stupid? Now imagine being small, still learning everything, still figuring out how the world actually works, and the person you love the most in the world, the person whose opinion matters more than anything, looks at you with disappointment. Kids will do almost anything to avoid that feeling. They will even lie for it. And then there is the reason that honestly hit me the hardest when I realized it. They lie because they have seen us do it. How many times have our kids heard us tell those little social lies? Oh, she looks great. We say about someone's haircut, then privately or not privately say that it looks terrible. Tell them I'm in a meeting. We say when we don't want to take a call, we make excuses instead of honest boundaries. I am not saying we need to be brutally honest in every situation. White lies have their place in navigating complex social situations. But our kids are always watching us and they are learning from us when it is okay to lie, when it is not, when does being polite mean not being truthful. Because our kids, they are learning how to be in the world by watching us, and they are learning about honesty the same way they learn about everything else by watching what we do, not just listening to what we say. How do we respond when we catch our child in a lie? The answer is validation. I know what you're thinking, but Rahela, if I validate their feelings, aren't I just letting them get away with lying? No, we are doing something much more powerful. We are teaching them that their feelings are valid, even when their behavior is not okay, that they can bring us their struggles, their fears, their mistakes, and we will help them. We will not hurt them. Here's what this looks like in practice. When you catch your child in a lie, the first thing you need to do is pause. Just breathe. Your child's nervous system is reading yours. If you come in hot, voice raised, face tense, energy is chaotic, their amygdala will activate. Flight or fight will kick in. And once that happens, you have lost the opportunity for truth. Their thinking brain has now gone offline. So pause, even if it's just for 3 seconds. Feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself, this is not an emergency. This is a teaching moment for me. The next step is to get curious, not furious. And I mean genuinely curious. Ask yourself, why might my child feel unsafe telling the truth right now? What need are they trying to meet? What problem are they trying to solve here? My son could not reach the sink, so he lied. Another kid breaks something and lies because they don't know how to say it was an accident and I'm scared you will be mad. Another child lies about homework because the work feels overwhelming and they don't know how to ask for help without feeling stupid. So here is when magic happens. We make truth telling safe, not easy, safe. There is a difference between the two. Instead of coming at them with, "You are lying to me, why would you lie?" which puts them in a defense mode, try something like this. "You know what? I notice your hands are still dry. I'm wondering if maybe you forgot to wash them." That happens to me too sometimes. Do you hear the difference? There is no accusation. There is an observation. There is normalizing. There is an opening for truth. Now here's something which is really important. We have to separate the behavior from the child. Always. Never say you are being a liar, you are such a liar. Because if your child believes that they are a liar, well, they might as well keep on lying. That's what liars do, right? Instead, try something like, "You told me something that wasn't true. I know you are someone who cares about honesty. We talk about it all the time. So I'm really curious what made that feel like the best choice in that moment. I wish you can help me understand that." This approach says, "I know who you are. This behavior doesn't match to who you are." Let me give you some phrases that have worked in our home. When you catch them red-handed, you can say, "I can see," and share about the evidence. "You're safe to tell me what really happened. I'm noticing something different from what you're telling me. Want to try again?" And when they confess after lying, you can say, "Thank you so much for telling me the truth. That really took courage. I know that was hard for you." Or, "I am glad you told me." That's exactly what brave people do. They tell the truth, even when it's scary. When you are not sure if they're lying, you can say, "I want you to know that you can always tell me the truth and I will work through it with you even when I'm disappointed in a choice. I am never disappointed in you, bacha." Or when they lie to avoid consequences, you can say, "I notice you're worried about what will happen if you tell me the truth. I want to know the truth more than I want to punish you. Let's figure this out together." Building a culture of honesty in our family. We tell the truth even when it's hard. When we make mistakes, we own them. You also model it. "I made a mistake today. I told someone, I called them back and I forgot. I'm going to call them right now and apologize." So the next time you catch your child in a lie, take a breath. This is not a crisis. This is not their character flaw. This is not the evidence that you are failing. This is a moment where you get to show your child, "I love you more than I need you to be perfect. I love you enough to help you learn. And you are always safe with me." That moment in the bathroom with my son when he admitted his hands weren't washed, that wasn't about clean hands. That was about building a relationship where truth, even uncomfortable truth, is always welcome. You have got this, and your child, they are going to be okay, more than okay. Thanks for being here. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear your stories in the comments. What's your biggest challenge with lying right now? Let's figure it out together.